Hi, I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. And as always, we've got a great show. Some of the things we're going to be talking about is an interview that you did with Reverend Cosby and Lorenz Tate.
Yes, stay tuned for that because it's really good and really substantive.
And we got an opportunity to visit the Black Art Festival when it was in town just about a month ago. And we also have a segment coming up right here at Middle of Town Cycling. And of course, Destination Smooth Jazz 6. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
The morning show is the best that there is. Period.
Yeah! Come on, champ! Don't you make me...
Oh, I can work it around. We are here as usual.
That's too much. This the one.
We right here.
You wake up and catch me from 6 to 10 on your number one station for R&B, Magic 101.
Denise, I got an opportunity to attend the second annual Black Arts Festival, and it's Sadiqa and what they're doing down at the Norton's Sports Center, and it's a pretty unique event, so take a look at this. I'm here with Sadiqa Reynolds, and you are the person that made this all happen. We were here last year. You're back for a second year, and what do you think?
I am thrilled. I'm so excited that we are having the second annual Artists and Afros here at the Norton Healthcare Sports and Learning Center, and I'm glad you're here. I'm so happy to see you all and all these people. Look at all these people. Thank you.
So tell me, why do you think this is so important, not only to our community, but to the city as a whole?
I think it's important to the city because of economic development. I mean, we want people coming in, spending their disposable income if they still have it, and we want them spending it on our local artists, and we've got national artists here. I think it's so important for us to have a place to show our excellence. And for years, I've heard artists tell me how much they were fighting to get into other art shows. And I thought, oh, let's just create our own art show. And I think that's great, and we've got a lot of benefit, and there are a lot of wonderful artists here benefiting. But there are also, quite frankly, some benefits to artists in other shows because they see that they're getting more prominent placement because of this art show, I think. So, you know, it's kind of like if you got McDonald's and you build a White Castle across the street, maybe McDonald's runs better specials, you know, something like that. I mean, I don't know if that's a good example, but whatever it is, I'm supportive of Black art and excellence, and that's what this building is full of. Wonderful people doing wonderful work.
And as you walk around the hall and you're talking to different people, everybody I see they've got a smile on their face.
Yes.
So what are some of the responses that you're hearing?
I am hearing people say thank you. Thank you so much for creating this. Thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you for allowing us to dream. Thank you for giving us a place to spend the weekend. Thank you for the live jazz. Thank you for the food. And we have, you know, 2 black chefs that are doing the concessions. And then we've got a black-owned acai company. So if you don't know about that berry, you need to. It's very healthy. It's phenomenal. So I'm getting a lot of thank you. I say this, Max, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Since I built this facility, the response of the people, I probably get to have what a lot of people never do. It's like I get to live through my funeral because that's where everybody's going to say all the good things about you. I get to have people come up all the time and say that. And actually this morning I went to the other art show. I walked to St. James at 10 o'clock this morning and walked through there and talked to people. And they said, oh, we're coming to see you. So, and that's what I want. I want people to go to the Speed Museum, go to the St. James Art Festival, and come here to the Norton Healthcare Sports and Learning Center to Artists and Afros. There's enough space for all of us in this community. Everybody deserves to be seen. They deserve to be recognized for their brilliance and their talent. And that's what we're doing. And we've got artists from all over the country and a lot of phenomenal local artists.
I was talking to Ed Duffy earlier, and he was telling me the same thing. Sadiqa, as always, you're doing a great job. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, and you too. Thank you so much. And listen, thank you all for always highlighting the best in our community. We just appreciate you. There's so many things that are happening that nobody would know about if you weren't doing this. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm here with Robin Gibson, who is one of the phenomenal young artists here at today's show. So tell us a little bit about your work, the mediums you work in, and how you got started.
So I work in multiple mediums. So I work with ceramics, and I also do large drawings on canvas that are actually like multimedia. I stain the canvas with different types of natural dyes and then draw onto the canvas. But here I have my ceramic work. So I make incense burners, miniature vessels, and then just really anything that I kind of feel like making because I love to work with clay. So
what inspires you? How do you know that this is going to be the piece?
Well, really, I just kind of go until it feels right, you know? And I love the process of just making. I've been making art since I was in the 3rd grade. It's cool that I'm over here with LVA today because I started out as when they have the children's free art classes, they're called children's fine art classes now. But that's how I got my start when I was way back in the 3rd grade. So I've just been doing art ever since.
We're here at Artists and Afros at the Norton Sports Complex, and I'm here with one of Louisville's premier artists, Mr. William Duffy. And it's always great catching up. And tell me, why do you think this particular art show is so important?
It's for the community. You know, we have our St. James, we have our I forget the name, Lexington Road exhibits, all these different art fairs that happen here. But this one, there's very few, if not any, in the West End of Louisville. And so, you know, to bring all these premier artists in from all the different areas in and around Louisville, Kentucky, is so important. You know, some of these names I don't know, but I've seen their work in and about. Some of the names I do know that are emerging artists. And so for them to bring all their works together and in a beautiful complex like what we have here is really bringing a lot of attention to the West End, to this complex. And I think that's the important part. We're, you know, artists are not so proud that they don't participate in events like this. I have for years and years, but I'm at the point now where my work has been recognized by different collectors and stuff. But this is, I just spoke to an artist. This is where you start. This is your meat, you know, your meat.
So I would ask you, what do you think about the next generation of artists that are coming through the city?
I think that they're really set up in a great spot now, and I think it's from the efforts of folk like maybe some of these names the viewership doesn't know, like G.C. Cox, Dr. Bob Douglas, Ed Hamilton. Of course, a lot of folk know Ed, and myself included. But this is like the next generation of artists, and they have a really good understanding and a jump on what it takes to get the work out there and to keep your name out there. It's important to keep that name out there, and if people see your work, you're showing up year after year, then they may not buy the first year, maybe not the second year, but eventually they keep seeing you coming back on a consistent basis, they're going to want to buy that work.
Well, as you can see, there's a lot going on there, and you know the numbers keep rising every year, the number of participants, the number of patrons, and I think it's just a nice addition to the city.
I like the fact that, of course, I love art, and they're making art accessible, and black art accessible to everyone and in the community. And I know some people feel a little bit intimidated because they don't know a lot about art and black art, but this was an excellent opportunity to give the exposure and also for the artists to come in. And like you said, every year it just keeps growing and getting bigger.
We'll take another break and we'll be right back.
The morning ride. Because you won't want to get out of the car when the Streets Morning Takeover is on the Bill's #1 for hip hop.
Early in the morning.
96.
So, Denise, you got an opportunity to catch up with Lorenz Tate and Reverend Cosby and some other activities that were going on.
Yes, I'm going to read this correctly because it was called, and I love this, The Power of Strategic Collaboration. This is merging influence, legacy, and celebration. And so Lorenz Tate was in town for some activities and the collaboration. He came over to partner in and bring in some of his expertise on what he does with the students in Simmons College. And it was a really good afternoon, but let's just take a look. So I am here at a momentous occasion for this afternoon at St. Stephen's Church. I am here with Reverend Dr. Kevin Cosby. He is the president of Simmons College, and this is because we had a special panel going on this afternoon. I don't want to steal the thunder, but I'll let Reverend Cosby do the honors, and welcome to Urban Lifestylez.
Well, thank you so very much. It's so good to, I was on several years ago, and you guys have just taken this thing to another level. And I appreciate you promoting positive, affirming stories about our people, our community, our culture. So we had Lorenzo Tate here today, and he came and talked to the kids, our students, and in fact the entire community about basically what it takes to excel. What is excellence, and it's interesting. The word excellence literally means moving outside your limits. And so many of the limits that we have in life are self-imposed limits. And someone needs to tell us, look, move outside your limits, the same way you guys have been doing for many years. So he came. He is a very celebrated actor, but more importantly, he's a very conscious person who uses his platform to elevate and advance his people, and that's why he was here, and it was a memorable event.
I appreciate so much. First of all, I liked the way it was titled, A Different World, and what that means also, and the importance of HBCUs, and especially in this political and social climate. What's one of the most poignant, I'd say, takeaways for you that occurred during the discussion?
I think that he recognized that we are an exceptional people, that no one has the history and the experience that Black Americans have. We are the only quote-unquote non-immigrant population. Everyone else who is in this country came to this country looking for a better life. Even the native population who came from the Asiatic part of the world through the Bering Straits up to Alaska and then into North America. We're the only group that was brought to this country against our will. So we have an exceptional story, and that exceptional story there's an attempt to erase it because it explodes the myth that America has been a true democracy. So what I like about him is that even as a successful Black man, he has not forgotten where he has come from, and he's using his platform to inform our people, to empower our people, and to encourage our people to move beyond the limits that this society, if you let them, will impose on you.
So I want to touch real quick on the great and phenomenal work you have done at being at the helm and rising the levels of Simmons College and bringing it back to life. What do you want to see happen right now? Because listening to some of the students on the stage who had never been in an environment where they had teachers and there was not a natural affinity going on there, what is, like, let's say, 2 important factors that you want to continue with this project for helping our community and the future generations of our kids then?
My hope is that the Black community will understand the absolute necessity of building and sustaining our own institutions. We have been deinstitutionalized, which I think is the root of our problems as a people. And so Simmons College of Kentucky is a black institution. And by a black institution, I'm talking about 3 C words. Number 1, culture. When you come to Simmons, you will know that you're in black space because of the culture, the music, the dance. So the culture. Secondly, the control. The governance is in the hands of black people. Like black churches, we don't have to ask anybody, can we have an event, because we are in governance. So black culture, black control. 3rd C word is black concerns. We are concerned unapologetically about the uplift of our people, and we cannot expect other people to look out for ourselves. They have never done it. You know, the only time that black people have advanced in this country is because of interest convergence. So only when the majority culture has an interest that converges with us. Even the Civil War, like for example, the Civil War, the only reason why there was an Emancipation Proclamation was because Lee was whooping all of the generals of Abraham Lincoln. So he said we have to destabilize the South. So we'll sign the Emancipation Proclamation as a war document, but it was not because it was the right thing to do. It was always about interest convergence. We have to look at our own interest. We have to collectivize our strength. We have to build our institutions. And many of the Gen Zs, Gen Xs do not know that black people used to have their own institutions, because we've gone from segregation to desegregation to integration to disintegration. And my hope is through institutions like Simmons College of Kentucky, our churches, media, like you guys are doing, black media, black churches, black businesses, black schools, black families, HBCUs, that we will rebuild our own institutions so we don't have to beg people to do for us what we are capable of doing for ourselves.
You just served as a panelist on the program for A Different World with Simmons College. What would you say is your most poignant takeaway this afternoon?
The community, unity. HBCUs are so important to us, and it's great to see so many people being impacted. This is true leadership right here. This is where leaders are made, and we want to continue to support HBCUs across the country and around the world. Yeah.
And last question, you're a film artist and a community activist. What's a big message that you want to give out to everybody who was here and not here?
Once again, about community. We're not here to run a sprint. This is a marathon, you know, and our voices, especially as black folks, our voices need to be heard in the most authentic way. And this is one of the things that we are finding. Every day we challenge ourselves to make sure that our voices are heard and our stories are being told in the most authentic, poignant way.
Thank you so much for your authenticity and your generosity. So basically, I wish you could have been there, both of them speaking in regards to community and the natural affinity with our being black in the community, the students, education, all of that was in there, and I just wish everybody could have been there.
Right, and you know, it was a great title talking about it's a different world, because times have changed over the last 10, 20 years, and students today versus students 20 years ago, they are different. We'll take a quick break, and we will be right back.
I'm Adonis Henderson. Working here at the water company is a great opportunity. It's just working with a family environment. I really enjoy working here. The people here are great. Being able to get outside and talk with customers about our everyday operations here at the Louisville Water Company is wonderful. With the Louisville Water Company, we have always been best known for our best tasting water that we do have here in the region. And of course, it's coming from the source, which is the Ohio River. And a lot of people, they say, hey, you got this water coming from the Ohio River, but you all make it a great product. And it's real interesting to hear them say that. And then when you explain to them all the things that we do to treat the water and to get it out here to service the community is excellent. Just got back from our WPC conference, which is the Water Professionals Conference with the Kentucky, Tennessee sector here with American Water Works Association. And going down there and you meeting other industry individuals throughout the Kentucky industry and the Tennessee industry is great. And speaking with them about the different waters and the taste of the water, we're always one of the tops that they always recognize. So it's excellent. The Louisville Water Company, it has an excellent product coming fresh from your faucet, and it is called Pure Tap. So get your water bottle, fill it up, and have fun quenching your thirst every day.
Every month we come to you from Middle of Town Cycling, and this month is no different. So we're going to catch up with Nira and find out what's going on in the world of biking. Well, we're back again at Middle of Town Cycling, which is at Bardstown Road and Gardner Lane, right behind Sullivan's Bakery. And of course, the seasons are changing, and we're talking trainers, and there are a lot of different options out there because we want to keep moving all year long. So, Nira, welcome back, and tell us about these trainers.
Thanks for having us. So, a lot of people already kind of are familiar with indoor bikes. You get something that looks like a bike that you sit on, and sometimes there's not a lot of adjustability on them, and you're just spinning on the bike. What we sell here specifically for people who already have their own bike, you put your own bike on a trainer that is already adjusted to you. So you don't have to worry about the seat height being too high or too low, or your handlebars being too wide or too narrow or too up, or because you're actually putting your bike on a piece of equipment that will help you ride your bike.
And when you put your bike on here, you don't have to take anything off, do any kind of adjustments. It's more so just rolling it up and locking it in.
Yes, so on this particular trainer that you see, this is my bike, and it's very convenient. You don't have to remove anything off the bike. You just literally take your bike, put it on here, make sure it's attached securely, and you just turn on the trainer and you're ready to go. They do make different other trainers that a lot of either riders that want to train more with a lot more power. In those scenarios, we have something over here that's sitting on the floor. In that scenario, you do have to remove your rear wheel and then put your bike or mount your bike on this particular trainer. And these trainers, they vary. They have trainers that are what we call fluid trainers, and then there are trainers that we call smart trainers, and they range anywhere from $200 all the way to $1,800-$1,900. So there's a variety of different trainers that have different data points that they measure, or they have different flywheels, and what I mean by that is the wheel that helps create the resistance. So again, there's a variety and abundance of them, this being the most convenient for most people where they don't have to worry about removing parts of the bike. This one you just plug and play.
And you don't have to have any type of program or anything with it unless you choose to.
Correct. So most older trainers or trainers that in the past that we've sold are what they call fluid trainers. They have a flywheel, and you have this little shifter pod that you would shift to increase and decrease resistance, and that's how your training worked. On a lot of cases in the newer trainers, they're now called smart trainers, and they're equipped with a Bluetooth chip that connects to a third-party app. And basically, it's like virtually riding a bike. And they have these training routes. And once you are connected to the app, it automatically changes the elevation resistance on your trainer, mocking it to be like you're riding a bike outdoors. And it's actually it's a lot of fun. It's better than just spinning your bike indoors and, you're not going anywhere. This makes it a little bit more fun.
And these are really for anybody. And if people want to find out more about a trainer and come in here and test one out, what's the best time? And give them all your information.
So right about now, the weather is really bad and it's getting cold. This is about the time when we sell a lot of our trainers. And a lot of these trainers you'll find either in our shop, or you can also find them online. And then coming in November, we're also going to have a session where our trainer rep is going to be here and show us how these trainers work, and you can sit on different multiple trainers and kind of get an idea of what to expect, what not to expect. So almost like a class. So if you keep an eye out on our Facebook or Instagram pages, we'll be mentioning when those classes will happen, so stay touched.
But as you can see, there's always so much to learn. And, you know, I have to admit, I feel a little bad because I didn't ride as much this year as I wanted to. But it was always something that I had in mind to do. But it just seems like life and things got in the way.
Mm-hmm. But when I did ride, I felt good about it because I like learning what makes my bike rides better and safer and more comfortable.
And, you know, I like the fact that now we're transitioning inside, and she's offering us some tips on some of the things that we can do to stay healthy, keep riding all year long. We'll take another break, and we'll be right back.
Thanks, Max and Denise. I'm your girl, Shay K, and of course, it's Magic 101.3. I wanted to come on really quick and just tell you some of the things that Magic's got going on and our sister station, B96.5. Right now, if you go to our website, it's 1013online.com. You can enter to win. There's so much I had to cheat and write it down. You can enter to win tickets to see Gladys Knight. You can also enter to win tickets to see Cat Williams, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and you can enter the Maxwell Urban Hang Suite Cruise giveaway. That cruise, February 2026, it's Maxwell, it's a cruise, it's Maxwell and a cruise. Enough said. Hit that website to enter. And also, we've got something called Educator of the Month. Now, this is near and dear to my heart because it's a time for us to celebrate the folks who touch the lives of our kiddos. Once you nominate them, if they're chosen, they're going to get, some love on air, some love online, but we're going to send them to a really nice dinner. Give them some downtime so they can refresh themselves. All right, listen, Play Cousins, I got to go do some work, but before I do that, remember this. I ask you every day at the end of my show. We're about to have some tough times, and I'm asking you to just go out and do something good somewhere. I'm your girl, Shay K. Y'all know what it is. It's Magic 101.3.
And speaking of multitasking and having a great time, Destination Smooth Jazz 6 is coming up on November 22nd at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage. And Denise, tell them who's coming.
Two phenomenal artists. We have Adrian Crutchfield on the sax, and some of you all have told me that you're familiar with him because he last played sax for Prince and a lot of other different artists, and also another artist that's great that people came up and said they know about is Dee Brown, phenomenal guitarist as well. So this is going to be a fantastic show. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of things to have a good evening out, and I'm calling it a good grown folk evening out.
Right, so make sure you come and join us. Once again, that's November the 22nd at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage. Come out, you can have dinner, you can buy cigars, you can do some tastings, and whatever you want, we're going to have it there for you. And I think that's our show.
Oh, that's our time.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyles.
Bye.
And remember to take the show.